guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And today I am doing my contour routine. So I did a little poll on Insta stories and I was either going to do an everyday glam look today or my contour routine. And all of you voted for the contour routine, so I decided to film that today for you guys. And for those of you who wanted the everyday glam look, no worries, I will still do that look for you guys. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and to hit the little bell for notifications so that whenever I post a video, you guys are the first ones to be notified of that. So if you'd like to see my highlight and contour routine, please keep watching. Okay, so to start off my contour routine, just so you guys know, I have my foundation on already. I'm wearing the Tarte Shape Tape foundation in the shade Medium Tan Honey. For my contour routine, I usually use different products. Now there's different types of contour that I do. If I'm doing like a heavy contour look, like full glam, night out, or just going out with the girls or something like that, I do like full contour, cream contour, like heavy products. If I'm just going somewhere that's like not that much of a big deal, or I'm just going out somewhere to run, not even run errands, but just to go shopping or something like that, then I would just use powder. There are a couple of different products that I use that are my favorites. So this is like heavy duty stuff. Like this is Super Cream Contour. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit. When I want something more full coverage, this is my baby right here. Recently, I've really been loving this Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer in the shade 6. It says 6.0. I'm just gonna say 6. This is a concealer that I've really been loving because it just seems so smooth on my skin. When I go in to blend it out and blend it with the rest of the makeup, it seems to just blend seamlessly. And I really like that about it. It's not like super creamy, it's not super thick, it's not super creamy, it's like kind of light, but it still gives me that contoured look that I really like. And last but not least, this is the NYX Cosmetics Face Duo. This is a Sculpt and Highlight Face Duo. It has a highlight side and a contour side. And I mainly bought it because of the contour side. I really love this shade. It really gets that contoured look for me. This side I actually use, since it's a little bit darker than my actual concealer shade, I use it to cover blemishes, especially when I'm not wearing like a full face of foundation. So I think today what I'm gonna do is use a combination of these two, since that's really what I've been using and it glides on the best. So I kind of go a little contour crazy when I do my contours. I usually apply this first with one coat, and then I go back in and I add a tiny bit more on my cheekbones with this NYX Cosmetics Duo. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I do that. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer and pick some up here. And then I'm going to, if you've never really contoured before, I recommend doing this just because it's easier to find the line. I usually go in and do my little fish face. I kind of just make a little line like that. And recently I've been putting more like here. I've been starting like a little bit thicker here and bringing it up this way. And then as I go in, I'm like making it skinnier and skinnier. Now my face I feel is a little bit more rounder, so I usually round it like this because my cheeks are like right here, my cheekbone. So I really like to make sure, and I usually start putting little lines like this. Now this is when I'm really concentrating on my contour. I don't do this all the time, but if I was really trying to master my contour for the night, this is what I usually do. So then I do the same thing on this side. And just a little tip, most of the time when you are blending in your contour, it usually starts to go down a little bit. So whenever you apply your contour, I like to kind of apply mine a little bit higher than my actual contour line because I end up kind of just bringing it lower. Even if I blend upwards, somehow it just ends up coming lower. And then when you blend it out, make sure you blend upwards, not downwards, because you want that to stay higher on your cheekbone. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Then I apply some on my forehead here. If you have a bigger forehead, you're going to want to contour more on your forehead. But since my forehead is smaller, I usually just do a small amount. And then I like to connect it here very lightly with whatever I have left on this brush. I don't add more product at all. And then I like to create more of a sharper jawline for myself. So I usually do a line down here. You guys can kind of see that. And then I'll drag it right on top of my jawline like this. Sometimes I like to contour my chin, so I'll just do a little line here and a little line here. Just letting you know, everyone's face structure is different, so your contouring is going to be different. Just keep that in mind. And then I go in to do my nose, which I feel like my nose contour routine is always changing. I haven't really settled on a technique that I really love yet, but currently this is the one that I'm doing, so this is like really tricky for me. But you have to try and make sure you get a pretty straight line. I go in this way. There's one. You have to have a really steady hand. There's the other side. And then I like to, my nose is a little bit pointy here at the tip, so I like to apply some here and kind of just carve this out and make it disappear a little bit. I also apply some on the sides of my nose. And then I usually drag this down like this, like that. And then I apply a little line where I want the tip of my nose to be highlighted. It is super hot in this room right now, so if I'm sweating and my makeup is melting, I am so sorry. And then I go into the center of my Cupid's bow right here, and I just apply a little line. I'm going to go in with this palette and kind of just show you more of my heavy duty coverage. I usually take this more yellow one right here in the palette. So I start applying some here. Wherever you didn't apply the contour shade. There we go. Same for the other side. I'm going to go down to where I drew that first line, and I'm just going to go right underneath where I put that contour line. I'm just going to add a few streaks here of this highlight shade. Then I add some to the center of my forehead here. I kind of make like a little half circle up here in my forehead. Then I bring it down the bridge of my nose, being very careful. So this part is really stressful. Here we go. And then on the very tips of my Cupid's bow here, highlighting your Cupid's bow really makes the top lip just stand out and look bigger. So I really love to do that. Also going to bring some down the sides of my nose here. Kind of just connect that together. And then I add some to my chin here. Just a little line. And to brighten this a little bit more, I usually take my brighter concealer, which is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in light neutral. So I usually put the brighter shade here closer to the bags under my eyes. So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and start blending everything together. I like to start by blending the dark shade, the contour line, first. remember to blend upwards, not downwards. Kind of start going up into the forehead to blend out that line that we put here. And then I go to the jawline here. Blend in that little piece that we put on the chin. Make sure this is blended out well, like I've said in my other videos. There have been a few times where I've left this line here and it really was not cute. So please make sure you guys blend that out well. Do not make the same mistakes I've made. You can already see that chisel already. And then just gonna blend out the forehead really quick. Now I'm going to go in to blend out the highlighted areas, starting with my chin. Make sure that's all blended out well. I'm gonna go into the sides of my face here where I put that cream here on the sides. Once again, make sure that's blended out really well. You don't want the harsh line here between the contour shade and the highlight shade. So make sure that's blended out well together. Okay, so here is the most important part, which is the highlight that's right here underneath the eyes. So I usually like to start patting it first, being careful that I don't completely cover the shadow that's under my eye here. I usually do my eyeshadow first and then do this because it kind of cleans up whatever shadow is like falling out here. Going in with this eye now. I just lightly tap this together. The point of a nose contour is you don't want it to completely disappear. You don't want the lines to completely blend out. You want them to be there to some extent, because then what's the point of the contour lines? So I usually just pat it, the bottom. Cupid's bow here. And I don't make it completely disappear. At the same time, if you feel like it's disappeared too much, I am going to go over everything with powder to set everything. Now that we're all highlighted and contoured out, this is where I do my little extra step. And I go in with my NYX Cosmetics Sculpt and Highlight Duo. I take this end right here, and I'm only going to really do this on my cheekbones. I don't really like to do this anywhere else. I'll kind of just put a few streaks on my cheekbone just to deepen it, and I'll always keep it more higher up on my cheekbone, less towards the center of the face. I'm gonna blend this in. See, kind of just like darkened it a little bit. Made my cheek a little bit more chiseled, you know what I'm saying? Just keep in mind that you don't need to do all these steps. You don't need to use the products that I'm using. If you want to use more lightweight products, absolutely, by all means, use those. This is just something that I wanted to show you guys. I feel like contouring usually goes with, you know, more glammy looks. So I definitely wanted to show you guys products that are more glammy. So right after we do all of that, I still go in and set everything with powder contour. This is my favorite one. This one and the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. Those are my two favorite contour kits. Now I'm going to go ahead and set everything with powder. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Original Powder Contour Kit. And I'm going to go in with this shade right here in the palette. Usually I mix all three just to get like a good mixture of all the shades, but this is my favorite shade right here in the palette. And I just follow the line, always adding a little bit more here towards the outer part of my face and then lightly sweeping in. Kind of bring that up a little bit on the face as well. You can kind of start to see that chisel. I like to kind of very lightly, barely touching the face or barely putting any pressure on the face. I like to start doing that little C motion. Now I'm also going to go over my jawline wherever I put that contour shade. So you're going to go and just lightly sweep over those same lines that we originally put with the cream. Not only will this set it, but it'll kind of intensify the look of the contour. Hey, look at that contour. Also going to go over my forehead where we first applied that cream contour, just to intensify that. You don't want to make that completely disappear either, especially if you have more space on your forehead. You always want to add more contour here along the top of your forehead. Okay, we have the contour shade done and set with powder. Now we have to set the highlighted areas. So with the same palette, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I usually like to go in with a yellow powder. I just like the way it looks on my face. Okay, so that's how it's going to go. I'm going to go ahead and put this shade in the areas where we put the highlight. Also going to bring that down the sides of my nose as well to make sure those contour lines don't get lost. The chin. On the side right underneath that contour line, I am going to draw the line with this powder where I want to carve out that line. I usually like to do it from the end of my mouth here to the top of that contour line there. Normally I'd actually bake, but I want to do a separate video on how I bake, so I will leave that for another time. So this shade is also going to help smooth out any harsh lines that we did with the contour shade. I'm also going to take that down the bridge of my nose, right here. And then to intensify the contour that we used, I'm going to go in with that same shade with another brush. Kind of just go over softly where we put those lines. I'm actually going to add a little bit of shine to the face, so I'm going to go in with this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and I'm going to apply some of that to my cheekbones. I'm going to take that same brush that I used for my concealer just because I like fluffiness of it. I'm going to go along the very top of my cheekbones. Kind of bring that up to the side here. I'm also going to use Gold Coast from the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Foil Finger Paints palette. I'm going to grab some with my finger and apply some to the high points of my cheekbones here. Also going to apply some to the tip of my nose as well as the bridge of my nose here. Blend that out well. And then I'm also going to add some to my Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to apply some blush, and this is the MAC blush in Prism. This is a matte blush. Here is the final result. So you guys can see this is a pretty heavy coverage on the face. I usually like to do that when I contour like dramatically. This is pretty much my routine. I usually do those same steps. The only thing that I do differently is I contour my lips a very different way. So I'll probably be doing a video showing you guys how I make my lips look bigger, how I fill them in and how I contour them to make them look bigger. So like I said earlier in the video, if you guys want to use different products for this specific routine, you totally can. You can do the exact same steps with different products, whether they are more lightweight or more heavier coverage, although I don't know what gets more heavier coverage than this Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit. I hope you guys were able to learn a lot from this video. Let me know if this was helpful down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the little bell for notifications whenever I post a video. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Like what? We can go ahead and make it a little bit in the center. I can't speak today. Can't take myself seriously today, I'm sorry. My face was like, let's have a pimple party on her face. What the heck?